you when they can't get rid of you. A wise man told me that silence never betrayed him. Keep your mouth shut, cause got ultimatums. Stupid situations, the tongue often creates them. The motor mouth is usually causing mayhem.
Lil' tune, flow sinister, I'ma finish him. Many men gon' need ministers, I ain't mending them. Enemies, I'm the enema, I'ma on them. Just like my keys, drop my on the dinner work. My thoughts I keep confidential, it's consequential. Philosophies unidentical, I'm not into you. My Siamese brother Benjamin, that's how I stick to him. These diamond bees, all BBs, I call them Vivica. Skating underneath the bridge, stay hustling as it is. Make money, feed the kids, ain't nothing in the fridge. Wake up, repeat the sins, I need a 10, stay muddy to the lid, 800, eat a.
Yeah, alright, my flow sinister. This ain't rap music, this straight literature. Small-minded, all your ideas miniature. They tend to hate on you when they can't get rid of you. I ain't going nowhere, 20-year career minimum. Call Hit Boy for beats, ask for 10 of them. I don't follow trends, I swing the pendulum. If the bag good, I'm gonna give her some. Yeah, alright, my flow sinister. Yeah, alright, my flow sinister. Yeah, alright, my flow sinister. Never lied in my rhymes, you can go ask Jennifer. That's my mom's name. I create and find change. My mind frame ensures that forever I'll reign.
We spent your whole life trying to blow up, but Elohim never had time for donuts. The beat gon' have no time for cold cuts. The game like Big Fish came to Jonah. Yeah, I'm still independent, ain't sold a million records yet. Used to be on my checklist, big diamonds don't need a necklace. Look, we built the sound like it's double speed Tetris. I cannot build without God in it. We built the sound, you can't copy this. I never brag, it's just confidence. I never rap for your compliments. I wrote this one for the indie grind. If you ain't signed on the dotted line, can't buy my soul with no dollar signs. The industry's so full of troglodytes. I don't follow trends. Run it up. Say that with my chest. Run it up. No, I will not bend. Run it up. Gang time in it. Gang time. I don't follow trends. Say that with my chest. No, I will not bend. Gang time. Run it up. 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 Run it up.
The seating capacity is 65,000 at Ford Field, and we are right around that number today. A good crowd on hand and seemingly ready to go in the Motor City. Today, it's the opener of a new NFL season between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Detroit Lions. The ball on the tee, we're set for football, and we are underway from Ford Field. And no run back on this one, so the new season will begin at the 25-yard line.
Okay, break! Hey, check that, street!
It'll be Sanders to begin the drive. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
Check pass.
Second down, back to Sanders. And he'll scratch out a yard up to the 30, and that's all.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough and run-supported. I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Third play here, this opening drive as they're up against a 3rd and 5. left side here to Sanders. And he is going to have an Eagles first down. He needed 5. He got it barely, as it will officially go down as a gain of 5 yards.
Well, partner, that's the start that you want right there. And you know he spent the entire offseason throwing hundreds, I'd probably say thousands of passes, getting ready for that moment. The first throw of the new season. He's dreamed about it, thought about it, and now it's out of the way.
Yeah, 1 for 1. A lot more to go. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Certainly. By the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front, because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll go again with Sanders. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Here's Hurts to throw. And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete. Not the opening possession they were looking for, especially on the road.
No doubt about it, because they wanted to come out and establish a little momentum right away. But now bringing up a 4th down, an empty possession, not what they were seeking.
Here's Aaron Sipos out now to punt on 4th down. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Lions are going to take over with a long field ahead and a 1st and 10.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that, right?
Yeah, he said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
They'll start on the ground with Swift. And a short gain here as he gets it up only to about the 6. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
That first down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room. If you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
Yeah, didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Now a give right side Swift. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10. They went with the run-pass option, and I don't know if the option really mattered there because the defense was ready.
So many times you put the defense at a disadvantage because you have those multiple options, but when they read their keys and play it correctly, sometimes the result goes in their favor.
Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. Off play action. Newton. Hard throw, incomplete.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
Here comes the Lions punter now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. Here comes Rager. He almost outkicked the coverage. A 57-yard punt, 15 on the return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
So the penalty declined, and they will keep the yardage on the completion.
And you could almost see him compartmentalize there throughout the route. Fought hard at the line of scrimmage, a lot of hand checking throughout the route. Great job staying focused on the football and pulling it in through the contact.
And he is going to lose yardage here. That's Aiden Hutchinson. He was determined to blow that play up, and he sure did.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Now on 2nd and 13. Hurts. Man open left side is Brown. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
You have to ask the question, where was the help? Because it's a little surprising to me that he'd find that much room to run this close to the end zone. He doesn't quite get there, but he sets his guys up with a 1st and goal.
They'll run with Sanders, and he is going to lose yardage here. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
Brandon, that's what you call being manhandled at the point of attack, and I know the offensive line gets a lot of blame for that one, but occasionally the defense just knows what you're going to do. Maybe they scouted it perfectly, maybe someone tipped it off, but on that play, it had no chance.
2nd and goal from the 6 this time. Throwing is Hurts. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a 3rd and goal.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Maybe the first big test of the season here on both sides. This is 3rd and goal. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. And that's got to be so disappointing for a defense. You force the fumble, think you got a chance at a turnover, and instead, not only do you give up the football, you also give up a touchdown as well.
Yeah, you just think to yourself, you've done all the hard work, right? You forced the fumble, but when they didn't come up with it, I think they relaxed a little bit or maybe lost their focus as well, and it ended up turning out to be a touchdown against them.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And Williams going to sit on this one. It'll be a touchback. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. They were forced to punt on their initial drive of the new season. Now they're ready to go as they begin again with a 1st and 10. Play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive. That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit. So a little bit of a stiffer challenge now. 1st and 15 following the delay of game. Here's a handoff to Swift running left. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Now that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater. He just made a great play there.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Newton. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. They're trying to find Chark, but it's intercepted. Picked by the former Lion, Darius Slay. And the Eagles are going to get possession of the football as time will run out on this first quarter of play. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Now we're 1st and 10 at the 11. Hurts sets up to throw it. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field, down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Hurts. He's going to drop this down to Sanders. And they're going to get this down inside the 15.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. They'll drop to throw. And that's knocked away and incomplete.
That is certainly one way to frustrate a quarterback. Run those extra defenders on the field. Dime package, lots of speed, No space to fit into football.
So Hurts is off, and on comes Jake Elliott for the Eagle field goal. From the left hash, a 31-yard attempt. The kick by Elliott is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So golden field position there squandered as they can muster only a field goal.
Yeah, you were gifted a first-and-goal situation, but I have to give credit to the defense. They were brought out in a really tough situation, so give them credit for holding them to 3. That's a pretty nice accomplishment.
And Williams going to sit on this one. It'll be a touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They find themselves down 10-0 early after the interception on their opening drive led to a field goal.
So now they've got to pick up the mantle a little bit. You mentioned the team's down 10. They've helped contribute to that. How are they going to get their team back into this ball game? Run the offense that you think is going to be effective and execute it at a high level. As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
They had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Now it's Newton. And his throw is incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down. That muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10.
Listen.
Now it's the backup Goff. Buying time to his left. That's into a crowd and intercepted. And they will have the football deep in enemy territory all the way at the 10-yard line. So that now 2 consecutive drives that have ended in interceptions. You wonder if he's trying to do a little too much out there.
Oh, I like where you're going with that maybe he's pressing it a little bit, trying to be too fine with his throws, or maybe overestimating his arm. It could be a comp.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Miles Sanders, his first rushing touchdown on the year. And the Eagles are looking good here in the season opener as they're able to extend their lead. Elliott good on the extra point, and that makes our score 17-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And Williams going to sit on this one. It'll be a touchback. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far, and never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Go off a handoff here to Swift. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. But what a difference a play makes. A huge step forward and now a small step back as he loses a yard or two. So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12.
Value three.
Here's Goff. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked by the former Lion, Darius Slay. And the Eagles are going to have the football here at their own 18-yard line. Boy, Charles, that is now 3 interceptions in 3 consecutive drives, and you can see he's just got a look of disgust and bad body language, understandably, as he walks off the field.
And I think it comes from the fact that he's not sure what he sees down the field, Brandon. I don't know if he's seeing ghosts. I don't know if he just can't read defenses. I'm not sure what it is.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. Before we came up to the booth, last thing he said as we were walking off the field, want to play mistake-free football. Well, that just went out the window there with a pick.
Andy, do you remember what you said to me when we were walking up to the booth after he said that? You're like, oh, fatal last words. Every time we hear that, things tend to fall apart a little bit, and that's what we saw there. Didn't get enough on that throw, and it turned into an interception.
Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. After the sack on first down, Newton. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
And he's missed now in his first 4 passing attempts. The rhythm is just not there to begin this ball game.
The Lions on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and 15. Back to throw, Newton. And connecting here with DJ Shark. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
There's another example what defensive coaches constantly preach, not allowing any run after the catch. They gave up a few more yards than they wanted to, but they were able to get him down quickly and force a 4th down.
Facing this big first half deficit, they keep the field goal unit on the sideline. They're going for it.
20.
They snap it to Newton. Try to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Picked off by James Bradbury. And the Eagles will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line.
Well, it certainly feels like this defensive group has figured this guy out to the tune of a big lead in this one. And you know that he's frustrated with how this game has gone. And now with back-to-back interceptions, he's got to find a way to get out of his own head and start making better plays.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They'll start following the interception in great field position at the 45. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Coming up at halftime in a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman is standing by. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half. Right back to Sanders on first down. And he's going to take this down to about the 17. 54 yards rushing for him in this first half as he is looking in mid-season form here in the opener.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Off the play fake, here's Hurts. To the goal line but it's incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about, and you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent, and that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. They'll set up to throw. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Deshaun Elliott. And the Lions are going to take over once again, and they'll have it at their own 8-yard line.
And that felt like a little extra pressure on that third down attempt, and their mistake cost them points because they're inside the red zone. So you know you've got at least a field goal waiting for you. And in this case, they end up with nothing.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They got the ball now following a big play, keeping the other guys out of the end zone. Now they'll start deep in their own territory, 1st and 10. Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half.
20.
On 2nd and 9. Newton escaping the pressure right. He's got him in. Complete. A big play there just before halftime. And even 40 yards. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. The big play has them all the way out near midfield for 1st and 10. Here's Goff. Open man, he's got him, the tight end Hockenson. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Add this game to the last one, and they moved the ball over 50 yards in 2 plays.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Here's Newton. And look at this. Cam Newton intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by the safety, Jarquiski Tart. And the Eagles will take over here at their own 14-yard line. Well, I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And I think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me, that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you throw this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted.
It's a pickup of 3 on the play, but with it, time has run out on the first half of play. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
It's a new season, so both of these coaching staffs likely making plenty of adjustments after their first half of football. So for the call of the second half here in week 1, we go back to Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. We'll see, Charles, if they had a chance to hit the reset button at halftime. They have not scored. They're facing this big deficit. And if they're going to come back, it's going to have to start right now.
Yeah, and for them, it's not dwelling in the negative because, yes, they were totally ineffective in the first half. But we've seen many games that have flipped around in the second half. It all starts with this drive right here. They get something good going, put some points on the board, they begin to have hope.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. A play fake for Swift. Now Goff. This one caught. It's the tight end Hockenson. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. That one good for 37 yards.
Oftentimes now, offenses aren't nearly as precise as days gone by. They just have receivers find an open patch of grass and let the quarterback find you. And that's exactly what they did on that play. First with the pass through the air, nice chunk of yardage there, and then additional pickup with his left.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. Well, if there was any thought that this thing might turn around for this offense in the second half, I think those thoughts pretty well dashed after that interception return there.
It just has not been a good outing for this unit whatsoever. There's no other way to say it. They've been overmatched, haven't performed to the level that they've needed, and that throw there just going to contribute to this game getting out of hand.
So they throw the pick-6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we were worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
Flushed out right. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
His impatience has to be bubbling over, trying to find a way to get his team to the end zone for the first time. He did find a way to break contain and get outside to buy his receivers a little extra time, but the connection couldn't be made on that throw.
He's got his man, T.J. Hockenson. And he is going to have the Lions first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Goff on first down. That is into the hands of Hockenson downfield. Touchdown, Detroit. T.J. Hockenson, 61 yards. And the Lions are able to cut into that deficit. Well, if they're going to make a game of this in the second half, they need a few big plays to go their way. That's one.
And the way to get it done is to also conserve time. So to your point, that big play right there, now you're not moving the ball downfield, taking time off the clock. You're leaving yourself a better avenue to continue to try and make a comeback.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
I don't know about you, but I can't wait for a few years of two-point tries and see what the data tells us, because a lot of teams want to throw the ball in this situation. This time, unsuccessfully. I just wonder if maybe running the ball might be the way to go.
With it moved up from the 3 to the 2, you would think maybe a few more attempts at running.
I think stats over time may bear out that running the ball will at least be the equal of throwing it in that situation.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. On first down, Hurts. Out to the left there and complete to the tight end, Goddard. Finding space at the 40. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first? Hurts a handoff to Sanders. And he is going to lose yardage here. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
And now a pass dumped off to his running back. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there, because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay game.
And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. 11 yards for number 11.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads.
And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Miles Sanders, already his second touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Eagles are able to cash it in for 6. Elliott good with a PAT. And they open the lead up now to 25.
Eagles 31, Lions 6. Jake Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And Williams going to sit on this one. It'll be a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
He's airing it out for Williams. And he's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. And this opening game has certainly not gone their way to this point, but, yeah, that touchdown, maybe a glimmer of hope for the long season ahead.
And no one in this league likes to talk about moral victories. No one likes to really just say, okay, well, maybe something went right. But you're exactly right about that. A little glimmer there. Maybe they can carry it over moving forward.
Extra point by Patterson, up and good. And that'll cut the lead down to 18.
31, Lions 13.
Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. And Rager will not return it, so it'll come out to the 25 on the touchback. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Still operating with a comfortable lead despite the score a moment ago as they begin 1st and 10. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, they always talk about playing great team defense, and that was an excellent example right there. Everyone on assignment, no one in the wrong spot, everyone filling their gaps.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Another run here with Sanders. And some room to work. There's the stiff arm. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. 120 yards rushing for him now as he goes over the century mark here in the season opener.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
A first down run, good for about 3. 2nd and 7 coming up.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
From the 39, Hurts. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Jared Davis, the outside linebacker, coming up to drop him for a loss of a full 10 yards.
Yeah, some real defensive resistance there, saying not so fast to a good drive. They had marched to the end zone the last time out.
Hurts. Oh, the ball comes out but they'll say it's incomplete.
Oh, you can see and feel the disappointment on that one because you saw some guys on the sidelines jumping up going, oh, no. Looked like they had that one set up well on third down, but you got to give yourself time to get rid of the football.
We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And whatever promise they showed in the preseason has not translated into week 1 because they have not been. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. Well, there's 2 sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough, but man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it, and I think about it awfully hard. But also, you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence by actually pulling him out of the game. So you have to know your player. You have to know the situation.
Play action. Here's Hurts. And this one incomplete. Threw it down at the feet of his receiver.
Partner, I think he's got to be careful as he continues to try to extend plays because he's already been intercepted in this game. And the coverage, they continue to challenge all of his receivers downfield.
This offense so far on third down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd down and 12. Open man, that's Devontae Smith. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done.
First down, Eagles.
Shotgun snap and then the give to Sanders. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter.
And Hurts is intercepted, his 3rd of the game. Picked off by Mike Hughes. And the Lions are going to have it here at their own 15. Well, that interception at least offers them a glimmer of hope here in the 4th quarter.
Well, it certainly does if their offense goes out now and makes it pay off by getting into the end zone. And if it does, then they get a chance to get back out on the field and try and do it again. Maybe they can force that offense into more and more mistakes and give them a chance to get back into this one totally.
We have still a 3-score hill to climb. We'll see if they can do it. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And just not enough on the throw there. Down around his feet and incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Here we go. 76. 76.
Back to the air. Goff on 2nd down. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. So now following the sack, Goff and the Lions needing to come up with something here on 3rd and long.
Hey, Shell. Shell.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Ready? 20.
Desperation time. Newton, 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Lions turned away on 4th down. And now, boy, the ball's going to go over on downs here inside the 10-yard line. Up the middle they go with Sanders. And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line.
That's good power football on 1st and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there, but that's a nice job to chew up a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line.
2nd and goal from inside the 5. Sanders again. And he'll be stopped up short as the tackle is made at about the 3. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
Sanders, and he is going to lose yardage here. A 5-yard loss there is going to bring up 4th down.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
The kick by Elliott is good. So the starting field position was terrific following the surprising turnover on downs, but the end result, only 3 points.
Simply stated, I think you have to look at that as a missed opportunity.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. And Williams going to sit on this one. It'll be a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive.
Here we go.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
They had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes.
By Jordan Davis. 5-yard loss on the play. It's now 3rd and 10.
Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. He's airing it out for Williams. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by the safety, Jarquiski Tart. And the Eagles will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line. Well, all I can do up here is just shake my head. I mean, 6 interceptions. I cannot imagine what he's thinking between the ears right now.
Well, just think of how it is for his teammates, because after the first few, you know they're going over to him, hey, we'll get them next time. Now they're probably a little bit frustrated. And if you're a receiver, you're thinking to yourself, any ball that's in the air, you become receiver and defensive back. You got to go compete for the ball so that you don't get another one picked off.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
2nd and 9. At the 46-yard line.
Another run with Sanders. And some room to maneuver. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Miles Sanders with now 3 Week 1 touchdowns. And the Eagles are closing in on a winning start to the year as they extend their 4th quarter lead. Elliott good on the extra point, and that'll increase their lead to 28.
Lions 13. Jake Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
Fair catch made at the 25-yard line. The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Well, CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is end the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic good on the scoreboard, partner, because it's just about looking forward at this point. Get a touchdown here, give yourself some positive momentum and reps to focus on when you get back to practice in the next couple of days.
And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down? He has just been completely taken out of this game. We're in the fourth quarter. He's single digits in the rushing department.
And I know we look at him because the numbers do go to his production. But how about the guys blocking for him? They don't just have his number as a ball carrier. They've got the number of the offensive line and the other guys because they're getting to him before he can get started.
Well, partner, none of these runs individually have added up to a whole lot.
Now 3 plays, all 3 short runs, but together a first down.
Yeah, it's amazing how the narrative changes when you string them together.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down. They held him in check in the first half, but that's his longest carry of the game right there.
So would this be the definition of fresh legs since he didn't get much done in the first half? Now he has a great opportunity. He's taking full advantage of it.
2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. They'll run right here with Swift. And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. A handoff, Swift running to the left. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Now play number 7 of this drive, but it's a tough 3rd and 9. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Now a final chance to stop it here as a timeout comes in with 10 seconds left in the game.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
They'll stay on the ground with Swift. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Well, CD, always a little extra excitement for Week 1, and one of our early window games here in Week 1 on a Sunday comes to a close. Good to be back in the booth with you, my friend.
And it's good to be back.